Okay. So this video is going to be why gold prices is going to have a slow increase over several years and then a fast explosive one after that. Okay. So this is very different from what others have told, and I will mention the reasons for it uh, in my talk now. Right. So the gold prices are fluctuating based on geopolitics, tariffs, de-dollarization, etc. Whenever investors or speculators think the US dollar will weaken and the present West-driven monetary system will collapse, they buy gold, right? And whenever they think the situation is stable and present US-based world order is permanent and the dollar dominance will continue, then the gold prices actually go down because the US dollar will continue to be the premier currency and gold will not have its value, right? So the same with central bank, right? Central banks across the world, when they think US dollar is a primary settlement currency, there is no alternative, then the gold prices goes down. But when they think that the US debt is out of control and USD might collapse anytime, then they buy more gold and gold prices go up. So in this speculating game, recent events have pushed the situation in America's favor. Now you might be wondering how that is. I'm going to talk point by point about it in the coming, now. So the US has successfully silenced the Middle East, right? That's the first point, right? Israel has gone against the Iranian proxies and destroyed them. Iran's defense power itself was successfully dismantled by Israel and USA. It has removed the threat of Iran in the coming years, stabilizing the Middle East, right? So the oil prices will remain stable and US remain supreme, right? Now this is the first reason, right? Why the gold prices will remain stable. Now, second reason, Venezuela, a Chinese proxy, is captured by USA and the oil fields are being developed there, which is going to be used by the USA-based companies. This will further stabilize oil price and show the supremacy of America over other countries, which in turn is strengthening the US dollar. Third is the US is planning to give its citizens and companies a lot of money in the terms of billions. IT returns, moving money back to USA without tax. This is for the companies, I think safe havens and all that. So the taxpayers are expected to take home an additional 91 billion in refunds, with many households potentially seeing $1,000 to $2,000 more than usual. Okay, and the overall tax policy aims to incentivize companies to keep or bring capital back to the United States. All this is going to strengthen the American economy and massively, and so indirectly strengthens the dollar. Okay, so now let's look at the support staff, which is there in any organization, right? It's just not on the exact teams, software teams, because the total number of people are going to become less. Okay, in fact, 90% less. It doesn't justify the support staff like the human resource, finance, learning and development, cleaning vendors, security, parking staff, and even a large leasing space, office space. All this will come down drastically. It is the second aspect. Third aspect, okay, banks, retail organizations, marketing, sales, all this will be hugely impacted. Agents will take over and start explaining the product, makes sales predictions, create advertisements on their own. No need for humans in the loop. So just think of the amount of jobs today we have in various retail organizations, in banks, and just imagine the amount of jobs that are going to get lost. Okay, and the fourth aspect, right? Because there is no jobs, a person who is laid off can get placed in another organization. As you know, that cannot happen because they are also desaturated and they're also not hiring, right? So freshers, whether you're a fresher, whether you're a senior engineer, whether you're a manager, everyone are going to be without jobs, and they'll simultaneously happen in all the countries. So it is not like if you don't get here, you go somewhere else and try to get a job. It's going to happen across all the countries. So there is no escape. Okay. And let's look at the fifth aspect of this. Okay. Now, rent across office space, retail space, housing, all will fall. Why? Because the employee there is no employee, the employee base has shrunk, and there is many people without jobs who are in the society, right? So the mortgage debt, right, will not be paid. It will be many will be going underwater. Okay, consumption will fall across every sector, right? Consumption will fall across society, right? Because people will try to spend as minimum as possible, just do the bare minimum, right? Economies will go into recession simultaneously, right? It's not like wherever there AI comes in, there will be a recession, immediate recession. This is a full-fledged apocalypse scenario we are looking at. Already started, but end of 2026, we're going to see this, um, massive situation, right? Now let us talk about how can we prepare for this. Okay, number one I would say is save as much salary as humanly possible. Right, apart from your essentials, save everything else. Okay, no 10%, 20%, save everything else. Right, learn. Point number two, learn to live a minimalist life. Right, cut down anything that is unimportant and learn to live minimal. Right, teach your family members also to live minimal. Number three, do not take any new loans. Personal loans, mortgages, car loans, vacation loans, new phones. Do not do any of that. Try to close your existing loans fast as possible by prepaying. Four, save for personal spends like children education, healthcare. Keep that money. Okay, hold it because we never know when anything is going to go underwater. Fifth, put money into fixed deposit and try to get a monthly income out of it, right? Now, these are some of the things that you can protect yourselves, right, from this AI apocalypse that is coming in. My best wishes to you. Thank you. Okay, so now let's go to the fourth reason. Russia is in terrible financial shape. They might go bankrupt in months, right? With the state coffers empty, war is in stalemate. The amount of land taken from Ukraine does not justify the amount of money, people, infrastructure that is spent. Many Russian companies are not paying salaries anymore. Even the heating systems are not, being provided anymore. Electricity is not there in many provinces. Now, this is the situation of Russia today. And as you know, it's a main part of BRICS, which is pushing for de-dollarization. Now, Trump has offered a lifeline for the American companies entering to leverage slash exploit their natural resources, rare earths, etc., which Russia will have no choice but to accept. If it accepts, then all the transactions will be in US dollars. This will significantly hurt the de-dollarization efforts of the BRICS. And unfortunately, Russia does not have a second option. So it has to accept. Now, fifth reason, right? Now, China is going through a complete collapse of its economy, okay? With real estate going down completely, going back to the prices of real estate has gone back to 2010 levels. Debt has increased massively. State bank, the province's debt, everything together is going beyond to 50%. Internal party issues, people are fighting with each other as who will be the top C is not in full control anymore. Demography issues, there's babies are not being born, and one person, working person, is supporting their parents, grandparents. No revenues for counties. They're resorting to loot from their own people. Banks are resorting to looting from its own customers. So the whole economy is destabilized. Okay, it is. China will be so internally focused in the coming years. It won't have the power to challenge the USA. This is the truth today. Okay, and the US dollar is safe for now. The fifth reason, right? Sixth reason, the middle competitors like Japan, Germany, France are all in bad debt situation. Okay, and the green um, efforts that Germany and France went into, and try and because of that they're paying a lot more money to their energy, and that is just completely industrializing their economies. So this will continue to keep the US dollars as a reigning champion. These six factors are contributing significantly to keep the US dollars, right, at the same price that it is now. Um, so this will continue for the next few years. Okay, but one thing will catch up with the USA. While all these are true, US debt continues to climb to $38 trillion. And this is an unmanageable problem. And so after a few years, this issue will come back with renewed vigor. So in my prediction, for the next few years, gold prices will remain at similar levels. US debt will keep going up, but their economy will be very strong, that the US dollar will maintain its supremacy. And after a few years, the gold prices will explode at a later time when America shows signs of weakness, which will definitely will given the amount of debt it has got. This will be around 2030, in my opinion. Investors now got a very nice opportunity to accumulate gold at current prices for the next few years. Let's wait and see. Thank you.